truly remarkable man. I'm supposed to be the unemotional one? Okay. He was a loving father, son, and our dad's legacy is one of unwavering love, loyalty, devotion to his family. For 48 years, he worked tirelessly at Neve Tam, but his greatest work was always at home with his family. My dad was a man of simple but deep passions. He was an avid lover of chess and taught all of his kids to play. Although he loved the game and a friendly competition, it wasn't about winning, but about strategy, patience, and thinking ahead, which are life values that he carried into everything he did. He had a strong love for cars, specifically Corvettes. One of his favorite things to do was go for a drive with the top down, listening to his favorite songs with the volume as loud as it could go. He also loved to watch a good movie. One summer, when I was about 10 years old, every night after I was sent to bed, my dad would watch a movie. I started sneaking out of my room each night to join him downstairs and watch whatever movie he picked out. One night, I heard him open his bedroom door to head downstairs, so I got up to join him. When I opened my door, I found my dad waiting at the top of the stairs for me. He had picked up on my nightly pattern of coming out to watch a movie with him, so he waited for me to come out of my room, and that became our nightly summer tradition. More than his hobbies or interests, what defined my dad was his role as a father, grandfather, and friend. He was always there for his kids, attending every one of our many events, offering words of encouragement, and showing up always. A few years ago, before I had kids, Brendan and I decided it'd be fun to take our bikes and ride from Santa Barbara to Santa Monica, which was just shy of 100 miles. When I told my dad this, he thought it sounded ambitious, but was encouraging as usual. At the end of our conversation, he slipped in that he was going to be working at one of his stores in Ventura, just in case we needed him. Well, my dad knew best, because as we headed out for the second day of our early morning ride, we found out that the area was a fire and the road was closed, so we were stranded. I called my dad, and he said it would just cost us a breakfast burrito for a ride home. So with the breakfast burrito in hand, my dad came to our rescue, loaded up our bikes, and drove us home. Whether it was a cheer competition, a dance recital, or a basketball game, time spent at home, he was always present in ways that mattered.
One of the greatest joys in my dad's life was his marriage to my mom, Mary Jo. They shared 37 years together. One of the greatest joys in my dad's life was his marriage to my mom, Mary Jo. They shared nearly 37 years together, almost 4 decades of laughter, love, and unwavering partnership. My parents truly made each other better, and they took great pride in the family they created. Their love for each other was something special, and together they showed us an example of what a beautiful marriage looks like. As a grandfather, my dad's love only deepened. His 7 grandchildren were blessed to know a Pa who was not just there for them, but who truly saw them, who took pride in their lives and loved them unconditionally. The warmth and joy that radiated from him when he was around them was a testament to the man he was, someone who lived for the ones he loved. Our dad was also a man who believed deeply in doing the right thing. He didn't seek attention or praise for his actions, but he lived a life guided by integrity. He was the kind of person who showed up, not for the applause, but because it was the right thing to do. My dad was literally always there when we needed him. So many moments come to mind, but a few stand out, like the time Mike and I got into a small car accident in San Diego. He drove all the way there in the middle of the night to pick us up at 1 a.m. Or when Maverick knocked his teeth back, and without hesitation, he drove an hour to meet us at the dentist. And more recently, when Mike had to work out of state and I didn't want to be home alone, he welcomed me and my kids into his home. We completely overstayed our welcome, but he never made us feel like we did. He didn't mind the chaos of a wild toddler. In fact, anytime I said we should head home, he'd come up with a reason for us to stay just a little longer. That was my dad. He gave his all to his family and to his work. And in this world, that kind of unwavering presence and love is rare and precious.
Our dad loved his family more than anything, and his commitment to us was clear in every aspect of his life. His favorite kind of day would be everyone over at his house for Pappy's famous tacos that we would all make together, watching a basketball game with Dylan and the boys, playing cards together, putting on a movie for everyone to enjoy, and of course, debating politics while handing out his favorite banana and red 40 popsicles he knew I loved so much. We actually got to spend his last really good day together in Tennessee doing just this, and I know we will all cherish that day forever. He spent his days making sure that we knew we were loved and telling us how proud he was of us. For Dad, family wasn't just a word, it was the purpose behind everything he did. Our dad fought a courageous 3-year battle with cancer, facing each day with incredible strength that left us in awe literally every day. Never once did he ask why me or let anger take root. Instead, he comforted and reminded us that he had lived a full life he was proud of. He met his diagnosis with the same kindness and humor he had always shared with those around him. Most of the time, a dark humor that would leave us in tears while he was still laughing. My dad's bravery remains an inspiration to all those who knew and loved him. As we say goodbye, we can take comfort in knowing that his love for us, all of his lessons, and his example will live on. We will carry him in our hearts every day and in the stories we share. And while the void left by his absence is really deep, the memories of his warmth, his kindness, his presence, his humor, and all the advice while driving from one Honey Baked store to another in his white truck or his white convertible will surround us forever. We picture him at peace now in heaven, reunited with Pappy, enjoying a game of pool together as they watch over us and continue to help guide us. Thank you, Dad, for being our rock and the constant steady force in our lives, always teaching us and encouraging us to do the right thing and try our best at everything we do. We will continue to strive to be the best versions of ourselves because of you. We will do our best to live every day a life you would be proud of, and your legacy will live on forever. We love you, Dad.
When Dad was 14 years old, he took ill to the hospital with encephalitis and meningitis. It was very serious. They were told he didn't have long to live. But he did. If you knew him, you're aware he was as strong-headed as they come, and his will to live a full life was colossal. Dad wanted to be a lawyer. As some of you may know, he was a spirited debater. He would have been great at that profession, but life got in the way and his 4 daughters took the front seat to obligation. During Jennifer and I's drives to Dad and Mary Jo's on the weekends, he'd never miss an opportunity to share with us the things in life that are important. Arriving home, we'd storm in the front door annoyed, announcing to each other sarcastically how we just heard lecture number 1292 about this or that. But the core messages were always there. You keep your word to people because your words and actions aligning are all they have to really trust you. Give people their dignity and treat them with kindness. He shared with us his big love of good and loud music and the thrill that could be had driving his flexed out cars, which of course he had always negotiated on price. Dad felt achieving a bargain was part of living the best life he could possibly live. He was big on aiming to live the best life he could live to get the most out of each moment. The policy on holidays was the more the merrier. Strangers he hadn't met yet were welcome. He never wanted anyone in his community to feel left out. At my sister Katie's final high school senior football game, she performed a dance on the field where her dance team surprised her with an ending they had choreographed in secret, making a tribute to their team captain moving on to college. It was very touching, and as I sat next to Dad in the bleachers, with tears in his eyes that he would deny, he said he knew why he was spared in the hospital all those decades ago when he was only 14 or so. He said it was to help give life to his beautiful daughters and watch them grow.